This man witnessed his son being murdered by a gang member. He rushed forward and grabbed the thug. During the fierce struggle, John ripped the hood off the man's head. John saw the man's true face. The man shook John off and fled. John held his lifeless son overcome with grief. Soon the police apprehended the man, but the lawyer told him there were no surveillance cameras near the crime scene. Due to insufficient evidence, the killer would face a maximum sentence of 3 years. So on the day of the trial, John lied.
You're saying you'll testify to that in a trial?
No, Your Honor, I am not. It was dark. There were a lot of them. I can't be sure anymore.
John decided to take revenge for his son himself. The judge released the man due to insufficient evidence. The man's accomplices also gathered outside the courthouse as if they had won a victory. John watched them from a short distance away. The gang drove away, and John secretly followed them. He also tracked down the man's residence. That night, John grabbed a dagger from the warehouse and stormed into the man's home. The man showed not a shred of remorse. He even insulted John's son. John rushed forward in a rage, grabbed the dagger, and stabbed the man viciously. Then John pulled out the dagger, wiped the fingerprints off the handle, and threw it into the river. When the gang boss learned of the man's murder, he concluded that John was responsible. So he led his men to assassinate John. John spotted the man in the mirror and immediately fought back. Seeing this, the other thugs raised their guns and fired at John. John turned and ran, taking cover in a parking lot. He pounced on one of the thugs when he wasn't looking. John unleashed all his anger. The two engaged in a fierce fight inside the car. Suddenly, the car began sliding backward. Seeing this, John immediately tied the man up with the seatbelt. Then he quickly escaped through the window. This completely enraged the gang leader. So early the next morning, a thug burst into John's office carrying a package. John opened the package and found a family photo inside. Red lines had been drawn all over the photo. Terrified, John immediately called the police for help. That night, officers patrolled outside John's home. John kept watch at the stairwell. Suddenly, a piercing car horn startled him. John pulled back the curtains and discovered that the police officer had been murdered. Before John could react, the gangsters had already broken into his home. John fought the gangsters with all his might, but he was outnumbered. Soon, the gang leader ordered his men to tie John's family up. John rushed forward to stop them, but it was too late. The family lay there, fallen in a pool of blood. But what the gang leader didn't know was that John wasn't dead. He was lucky to survive. The police urged John not to act impulsively, but John decided to take revenge himself, so he escaped from the hospital. He withdrew all his savings and bought weapons on the black market. John drove to the gangsters' hideout. He went upstairs, only to be ambushed by the gang leader. The two exchanged gunfire without flinching. In the end, the gang leader was shot and killed. John was also seriously wounded. He mustered his last ounce of strength to return home. He played the home video and waited for death to come.